Tesla's work at Giga Berlin is going really well, and the progress is at astonishing speed. Now Tesla has changed the application a little bit, has filed a kind of new application, adding a construction of battery factory to Giga Berlin. You remember today I reported that Tesla Elon Musk said yesterday that they have bought most of the equipment for battery production, 4680 battery cell production in Giga Berlin. But now with this new application, this is going to be another approval process. It's going to slow down the approval process, and some politicians in Germany are kind of frustrated about this. And this report is how things are handling in Germany with Giga Berlin and the battery factory. Welcome back, dear friends. This is Armen Harayan from TorqueNews.com. If you are here first time, please subscribe to our channel for daily Tesla news. Give us applause and like this video, please, if you find this report informative, and also share in social media. That will help us to put it in front of more people. Embarrassing, alarm signal, imminent delay for Tesla factory fuels debate about approval process. Headlines Handelsblatt, a top German newspaper, discussing Giga Berlin, saying the Giga Berlin in Grünheide should start producing electric vehicles in July of this year, but the new uncertainties about the start date for the factory call politicians on the scene. Silke Kersting and Dietmar Neuer report the news, saying the threatened delay in the schedule of the US group Tesla for its electric car factory in Grünheide, Giga Berlin, are fueling the debate about the approval process in Germany. The delays in the settlement of the new Tesla Gigafactory in Brandenburg are not only embarrassing for the capital region in Germany, but also reveal considerable deficits in German planning and approval law, says the Secretary General of the CDU Economic Council, Wolfgang Steiger. He told it to Handelsblatt, and says if Germany wants to remain a leading industrial nation, bureaucratic and legal hurdles must be removed. So you can see how Tesla Giga Berlin's slow approval process, and it's all legal, it's due process, but these things kind of even frustrate German politicians. You remember Tesla Berlin's airport took 10 years to finally get it up and running, right? So the deputy head of the FDP parliamentary group, Michael Truer, made a similar statement, saying the fact that the process takes longer than the construction, even with great political backing, highlights what medium-sized companies have to suffer every day without such support, Truer told Handelsblatt. A massive acceleration of planning and processes, as well as a noticeable reduction in bureaucracy, are urgently needed. So German politicians are already realizing that if Tesla, that has massive support from the government, is going through all these difficulties, what about the small or mid-sized companies? And they realize that this is frustrating, and there is a urgent need for changing, for a massive acceleration of planning and processes, as well as noticeable reduction in bureaucracy. Thürer sees an alarm signal, that was a quote, alarm signal in the now no longer secure schedule for the Gigafactory Berlin, because the settlement of the electric car builder has long since become a showcase and prestige project. That was a quote from him. Friends, originally Tesla had planned to start producing electric cars in its new Gigafactory in Grünheide, known as Giga Berlin, in July of this year, and for a long time we believed that that's going to be the case. Now the car maker intends to change the permit application for the factory, as the Brandenburg Ministry of Environment announced yesterday on Tuesday. Here is a quote. The amended application also includes the construction and operation of a battery cell production facility, it said. We knew that Tesla had already announced, Elon Musk had already announced that Tesla will build world's largest battery factory in Grünheide at Giga Berlin. Once it's reached its capacity, it will be world's largest. But we didn't know exactly when this was coming. Now, since I reported earlier today that Tesla is getting closer to its 4680 battery cell production. Now Tesla needs to build the battery factory in Grünheide and also in Austin to build batteries for its cars, and it's going to be the 4680 new dense battery, which Tesla unveiled in its battery day last September, about 7 months ago. Now, because for this reason application documents for the project must now be interpreted again, that's what slowed down. Interpretation slows things down. There is a risk of delays. The group, Tesla, itself indicates that the previous start of production is unlikely to be sustained, like previous timeline is unlikely to be sustained, reports Handelsblatt. If the very probable rescheduling of the application for approval of the Giga Berlin project and Gigafactory's battery production should be necessary, it would be, quote, our goal to start production as soon as possible this year, it said on Wednesday in company circles. In its current annual report for the first quarter of 2021, Tesla spoke for the first time about starting production and deliveries at the end of 2021. Now, auto expert Dudenhofer says the Gigafactory cannot be launched until 2022. Wow. The start date for the Tesla Giga Berlin Gigafactory had been uncertain for a long time due to the slow approval process. The process has been running since December 2019. A month earlier, Tesla boss Elon Musk announced the decision to build the group's first European Gigafactory in Grünheide near Berlin. Tesla is currently building through provisional permits under Section 8A of the Federal Emission Control Act. That means the company builds at its own risk. If the final building permit is not granted by the State Office for the Environment, LFU, Tesla must restore the site to its original state at its own expense. Can you imagine the expense there? Brandenburg Economics Minister Jörg Steinbach had considered a delay of around 3 months for the start to be conceivable in the event that the factory's application documents were to be reinterpreted. Even if the exact scope of the changes is not yet known by the licensing authority, it is assumed that renewed public participation would be necessary, said the Ministry of the Environment. Here is a quote. The first car will roll off the assembly line when the final approval is in place and the plant has been completed, Steinbach emphasized on Tuesday and said when the approval process will be completed, no specific date can be given here today. The principle of quality over speed clearly applies. Ferdinand Dudenhofer, head of Center Automotive Research, CAR, believes that an even more pronounced start date is possible. I would not rule out the start in mid-2022 or later, Dudenhofer told Handelsblatt. If Tesla's Giga Berlin start date goes in mid-2022, this will be like another Berlin airport story, friends. And it can be even bigger than that. And this will frustrate a lot of people. First, it looks like Elon Musk has misjudged the approval and construction speeds in Germany. Second, according to his assessment, Tesla has overestimated its growth in sales. In the first quarter of 2021, Tesla sold 185,000 vehicles. Converted to the year, that is a little more than 750,000, but Tesla says it has capacities of 1.05 million vehicles, says Dudenhofer. This would mean that the existing capacities would not be fully utilized, and it makes sense to postpone the startup of new plants so as not to burden the thin returns apart from the sale of CO2 certificates. Tesla benefits from investing in the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. The first European factory in Grünheide, which is designed for 500,000 vehicles per year, is an important pillar of Tesla's future strategy. But things are currently also going well with the main plant in California and the factory in China. Tesla made it into the black for the 7th quarter in a row after previous high losses. An important source of money, however, was once again trading in emissions certificates, which other car manufacturers need to improve their emission balance and thus meet legal requirements in California or Europe, for example. The balance sheet also benefits from an investment in cryptocurrency Bitcoin, which the company made headlines in February. In Germany, however, the approval process for the plant in Grünheide is causing displeasure, not only in politics but also in Tesla itself. In April, the company openly criticized the fact that 16 months after the application, the final approval for the construction of the factory was still pending. At the same time, the group did not rule out a delay in the start of production. The start of operations would not be possible without a final approval under emissions control law, even if the fundamental admissibility of the project has been repeatedly confirmed, the statement said. Again, the start of operations would not be possible without a final approval. So this is where Tesla is right now at Giga Berlin, and this is how a lot of people are frustrated. The company also complained that it had gone through a long trial and error process in order to arrive at a final list of the standards and requirements to be met and the documentation to be submitted. Tesla concludes that such a list, which defines the level of detail required for documentation, should be available as standard practice from the start. The work on the factory premises was repeatedly interrupted according to the legal procedure of environmental associations. Among other things, it was about the resettlement of animals, because Tesla has rescheduled for the infiltration of rainwater. Several initiatives are now calling for the plans to be made publicly available again. Environmental groups and nature conservationists have repeatedly criticized Tesla for having changed its plans several times, which made the project more difficult and delayed rapid processing. Wolfgang Steiger from the CDU Economic Council said, "Our country must allow itself to be asked the critical question: have we really become so full that we can allow sectarians to prevent it, even with a settlement like that of Tesla?" Environmental lawyer like Thorsten Deppner, on the other hand, point out that conservationists not only have the right but also the duty to have procedures that are problematic under nature conservation law examined. Environmental associations are not the cause of the problem. They simply point out the necessities and the legal framework, said Deppner, lawyer for the German Nature Conservation Union and the Brandenburg Green League at the end of last year. From the point of view of environmentalists, a third interpretation of the documents is inevitable also in order to bring more transparency into the process. Here's a quote. As the licensing authority of LFU has long had detailed settlements and the critical issues of accident law and the precipitation infiltration concept, which from a technical as well as legal point of view result in the need to redesign the significantly changed planning documents, said Christian Schroeder, managing director of NABU Brandenburg, as well as Michael Genschau, managing director of the Green League in Handelsblatt. Well, friends, let me know what do you think about these developments. What do you think? Are you also frustrated? It's the German law and everything is legal, but things are a little bit, people are frustrated and they want to change. Politicians want to change something. I don't know how much they will succeed. So what do you think? When will Tesla start production of Model Y from Giga Berlin? And how long do you think the delay will be, if there is a delay? Or do you think for some reason, and if yes, what reason, the final permit will finally come? This is Armin Harayan from torchnews.com. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section below. Please subscribe to our channel, give us an applause, and also ring the bell and like this video, please. And I'll see you soon in our next report. Have a great day. Peace be with all of you. God bless you, everyone.